Okay, thank you for joining us, Foster, to talk a bit about TM and Andy's Man Club, and yeah, thank you very much for being here.
It's a pleasure, no problem.
Yeah, so we'll start off just with Andy's Man Club, and so you learned Transcendental Meditation through Andy's Man Club, and this is a charity that the David Lynch Foundation UK has been working with to offer courses in TM. Could you share a little bit about how you got involved with the charity, and then kind of your story, your journey up until now with the charity?
Yeah, absolutely. So I went along to Andy's Man Club it's probably 8-9 months ago now. It was just after the sort of Christmas period, maybe start of January. And the reason I went along was once again I went through a period of sort of mental health issues. For me, it's depression, which then leads to a sort of cycle of not sleeping, which then makes me anxious. It's not anxiety in terms of I can't speak to people. It's anxiety in terms of I just feel anxious all the time, and I've been on for the last 20 years. I've been on different. I've been on medication. I've got better. I've went off the medication, and then that cycle's just repeated itself again. So I then thought to myself, do you know what? I'll try something new. It was actually one of my friends who had seen about Andy's Man Club and said, listen, there's a group that you go along, and I think, because he didn't really know much about it, he says, I think you just go and talk. So I went along the sort of first night, and it really was a great experience in terms of, like I was saying to you earlier before we started this, it's not like you go and people give you advice. It's where you just, as a man, with other men, and I think that's really important, go to talk about your insecurities, your worries, your fears, and what you have is just a group of men. It can range from 10 one night to 25 the next week, where you can just share the things that are going well in your life, the things that the goals that you have, but also the things that you want to get off your chest. That's one of the questions: is what would you like to get off your chest? Sometimes it can be as trivial as something going on in a relationship, but then other times it can be actually about, you know what, something that happened 30 years ago when you were a child, and actually how that makes you feel. And yeah, the guys sit there and they listen and they nod, and there's tears and there's support, and there's it really is a wonderful thing. It's done on a Monday, and it's done intentionally on a Monday, so that it sets you up for the week. And one of the sort of phrases that people adopt is that where else would you be in a Monday, or where else would you want to be in a Monday? So it's excellent. In terms of transcendental meditation, I always struggle with that first word. That was, so one of the sort of leads for Scotland had basically fired out in a message saying, is anybody interested? And again, me being me, I've never been one to sort of not try something, and I'm thinking to myself, well, yeah, why not? I'll give it a go. And I went along and I met Sarah, and I was amazed at how easy the technique was. I'm still amazed at how easy the technique is. But like I was saying earlier, it just gives me that sort of 20 minutes twice a day where I have a bit of time for myself, and I can reflect, I can turn off, I can just have a break from everything that's going on, and then I do my meditation, and then I go back into real life, whether that's exercising or whether that's dealing with a difficult conversation, or picking my kids up from school, or whatever it may be. Oh, there we go. Sorry, because I hit the table there and knocked the phone over. So, but yeah, Andy's Man Club's been a great experience. I've met some amazing people, and the Transcendental Meditations really helped support that journey of mental health. And it, I think I finally got to the realization that I will live with mental health problems for the rest of my life. So I'm trying to do things that help me manage that better.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's kind of the nutshell of where we are.
Nice. So I know it's only been, has it been 2 weeks since you learnt TM, or how many
Yeah,
weeks?
yep, 2 weeks, 2 weeks.
Yeah. So what's your experience been over the last 2 weeks from that first session with Sarah to now?
Yeah, yeah. So definitely for me, it's actually something that I look forward to in my day. It's something that I plan for.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important because you can get bogged down, I think, in life in terms of, right, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this. But what I'm doing now is, like, for example, today I've got something on this afternoon, a sort of interview type thing, and I'm saying to myself, well, do you know what? I'm going to leave school a bit earlier. I'm going to go there. I'm going to find a quiet place, and I'm going to sit for my 20 minutes, and I'm just going to de-stress. I'm going to try and get myself a wee bit focused, and I'm going to try and, it's not shut out the world as such, but I think there is an element of that where actually you go within yourself.
Yeah.
I think for me particularly, what I've got from it is I'm being kinder to myself in those 20 minutes. I'm very much enjoy about the meditation that it's not anything to do with breathing, because I've always struggled with those things where it's about like breathe in and hold your breath, and I always feel as if you're about to pass out. So the simplicity of it is incredible, and it still quite astounds me how simple it is. But I suppose when you then start to think about anything in life, isn't it, the simplest things are the best things. So I've like I said, I've been planning it within my day. I've been saying to my colleagues or my wife, I'm saying, listen, I'm away for 25 minutes, and it definitely has. It's made me calmer. Certainly after it, I find I'm much calmer. But I also think I think I'm more positive in terms of how I approach the day, because I know that I've got that wee bit of time for myself. And I'm not being selfish in that regard, because actually it's only 20 minutes. It's not a lot of time to put aside for yourself, particularly when for the last 20 years on and off, I've had issues with stress and mental health. And so yeah, it's been great. It's been great. It was quite intense, the sort of the 4 days, I must say. There
Yeah.
was a lot of information to take in. But I do enjoy learning new things. I enjoy being able to apply it. But the actual technique itself, it really is so simple, but it's absolutely it's added to the strategies that I've got to be able to cope better with the stresses of life. And that's always been my bit where I get to a point and I just really struggle.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you. So for like other men potentially in the charity and Andy's Man Club, what would you say to them, like for other people that are dealing with depression or anxiety,
Yeah, yeah,
like, who might be thinking about learning TM? What would you say to them
yeah,
about the
yeah.
technique?
Oh, 100%, 100%. So, when I had been through Andy's Man Club, when I had been sort of told about transcendental meditation, I think there was two funded places within the TM. So it was me and another boy who had kind of put our names forward, but I think he decided for whatever. I don't think he really chased it up. So as soon as I had did my course, and as soon as I'd started applying it and seen the benefits, straight away I was saying to one of the other guys, I was like, "Listen, there's funding available there. I think you would really, I think you would really enjoy its simplicity, and you would reap the benefits from it." I even mentioned it the other night at the meeting. It was about, so one of the questions when you're at Andy's Man Club is sort of how's your week been, but give us a positive of your week. So it can be anything. It can be like you've did a new personal best in the weightlifting. It can be that you've seen your sister or whatever it may be. But mine's for last week was TM.
Yeah.
Just in terms of the effect that it's had on me, the positive effect that it's had on me, that making time for yourself, putting yourself first, calming yourself down. And you could see, and that's the thing, like it's not like people in the meeting sit and ask you, oh, tell me more about that or anything. You could see them just sitting there nodding, going, oh, I like the idea. You could see in their eyes, they're going, yeah, you could tell me more about that. So I had a coffee. We usually have a wee break if time permits, and I was having a wee coffee, and a few of the guys came over and like, let's see that TM. Can you look it up? I says, I go onto YouTube and you can have a wee look at it and whatnot. So it certainly piqued a lot of the guys' interest. And again, I keep going back to the simplicity of it, given how hectic and tough our lives are, is a real sort of selling point for the technique as well. And one of the other things I really enjoy about it is that I think, like Sarah would always talk about, anything like thoughts being okay.
Yeah.
If your breathing quickens, it's okay. It's all okay because it's just you being you. You're not trying to control or suppress or say that I can't think that or I need to breathe in a certain way. So my mate, I was actually, it's on my to-do list to say to him, how have you got on? Have you emailed Sarah? Because I think he's come on leaps and bounds since coming to the club.
Yeah.
But I think this thing with this TM would really help him. And then what we were thinking is, if there was more funding available, could we get more guys on? And then if we could get more guys on, could we work with maybe smaller groups of men, just in terms of working through the process of it? I don't know, but I certainly think having somebody like Sarah, where it's done through the sort of official channels and you go through the whole ceremony, I think all of those stages are really important to get somebody like me to a level where you can talk about it confidently to others.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's really great to hear that things like meditation are being spoken about in circles of men, because in a lot of scenarios these things don't come up, you know.
Totally. My life is very different now to it was 9 months ago, where I really felt as if I was not wanting to get out of my bed and really struggling just to see, at times to see a future, to see can I keep going like this if it feels so hard. So the fact that I've got Andy's Man Club now, where I feel I've got that support and I've got this additional technique that supports me and helps me in my mental health, it's just a positive. And when you feel a bit more positive, I think you make other people feel positive, and then it's sort of has that ripple effect.
Yeah.
Anytime I touch the table, it just falls. That's because I'm propping it up against a spray bottle.
All right. Thank you very much for just taking the time to have a quick chat about TM and
brilliant
about the work that we do at the David Lynch Foundation. So yeah, I really appreciate hearing more about Andy's Man Club as well. I definitely encourage people to look into that, and I'll definitely look into it as well.
Absolutely.
But yeah, thank you very much, Foster, for your time.
Really thank you very much, Joe. No, listen, it was a pleasure. Anything I can do to sort of get the word out about men's mental health. I mean, it's like everybody's mental health is important, of course it is. But I think particularly men. I've never struggled necessarily to talk, as you can probably tell. But men do. I think a lot of men do. And just having that space for them to be vulnerable and feel as if it's. I think the Andy's Man Club slogan is it's okay to talk. And it is, and it's also okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine. So anything I can do to encourage men to sort of open up, and any techniques that I can say to men, listen, this has worked for me. This could work for you. It might not, but actually, do
Yeah.
you know what? What's the harm in giving it a go? It's not going to take a huge amount of time. So anything we can do, particularly to stop as much as possible sort of male suicide.
Yeah.
That's the other reason as well that the club's on a Monday. Monday is the sort of day of the week that the most amount of male suicides happen.
Yeah.
So again, there's another reason there for it being the Monday.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Beautiful work being done there. Yeah. But I appreciate your time. Thank you very much, Ross.
Brilliant, mate.
Cheers.
Right. Cheers.